This channel is powered by patreon.com/swiftlessons. Enjoy a library of specialized resources to help fast-track your guitar journey. The most tried and true chord progressions, like the 1, 6, 4, 5 progression. They've been used in thousands and thousands and thousands of different songs throughout the years, and they sound great. But there's not a lot of flavor there. So there comes a time in every composer's life where they want to start trying to branch out and find chords that have a little bit more power, a little bit more flavor. And that's where the concept of borrowed chords comes in. Let's jump in. Okay, so what are borrowed chords? Well, some of you might be under the impression that songwriting is confined to the 7 chords derived from the major and the natural minor scales. But anybody who's learned enough songs will start to notice that composers very often fit in chords that are not a part of the key, but still manage to make them sound good. This is because every scale and every mode can be harmonized and then mixed together to form beautiful and inspiring chord progressions. So today I would like to share with you 5 magic chord changes that are guaranteed to revolutionize your songwriting. Okay, jumping into change number 1, the minor 4 chord. Now, the majority of popular songs make use of chord progressions that are derived from the major scale. In the key of C, we have the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which can be harmonized to produce the chords C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major. So this is where pop hit formulas like the 1, 6, 4, 5, or in the key of C, that would be C, A minor, F, and G, are derived. But somewhere down the line, someone very bright figured out that you can borrow chords from the parallel minor. So if we're in the key of C major, the parallel minor would be C minor. Specifically, you can borrow the 4 chord, which in the key of C would be F minor. So this very intense, melancholy chord change creates a burst of tension, forcing your listener to crave a resolution back to the tonic chord, C major. Now, let's use this minor 4 chord as a substitute for the 5 chord in the key of C, giving us the progression 1, 6, 4, minor 4, and a resolution back to the 1. Okay, or the chords C major, A minor, F major, F minor, C. A fantastic chord change to work into your songwriting. Okay, now moving on to change number 2, the dominant 3 chord. Oftentimes, the secret to creating more flavorful chord progressions is to take chords that are typically minor, like the minor 3 chord in the key of C, E minor, and changing them to dominant 7 chords. So in this case, E, dominant 7. Now theoretically, this is done using a concept that we call secondary dominance, where each chord in a major key can be reached by performing whatever dominant 7 chord is a 5th above it. So for example, we can take a chord change like C major to A minor and insert an E dominant 7 chord in between. Alright, this effectively changes the typical minor 3 chord into a major and also introduces some beautiful tension that you hear in songs like Santeria by Sublime and also Hard Times by Ray Charles. Okay, so here's another example chord progression that you can implement into your songwriting. It could be C major to E dominant 7 to A minor, we'll double that chord, to F major to G. Or the intervals 1, dominant 3, 6, to the 4, to the 5. All right, now before we move on, what happens if you implement that first change that I taught you, that minor 4? Let's see how that takes it to the next level. We could have the 1, the dominant 3, the minor 6, the 4, the minor 4, and the resolve back to C. Okay, now moving on to change number 3, the dominant 6 chord. Now, one of the trademarks of a major key is its relative minor found on the 6th scale degree. So in the key of C, that would be A, or A minor. That said, thanks to secondary dominance, once again, we have the flexibility to flip that minor chord to a major or dominant 7 chord, and use it as a pathway, in this case, to the chord D minor. Okay, so here's an example that incorporates both the minor and the major tonalities in that 6th degree, A minor and A dominant 7. Looks like this. Get started with the C major chord, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, A7, D minor, G, G7, and C. Let's hear that again. All right, another fantastic chord change to help spice up your songwriting. Okay, now moving on to change 4 of 5, the major flat 7 chord. So once again, we're borrowing from the parallel minor, adding in this major flat 7 chord to achieve a little rock and roll attitude. So in the key of C major, to find it, we need to play up to the 7th note of the scale, flat that note down 1/2 step. All right, next we need to determine what note that is. It's a B flat. Now apply the major harmony. That gives us the chord B flat major, which is going to sound great between the 1 and 4 chords. Here's an example. Maybe I can play it just with power chords. All right, an excellent change to get a little bit more of that aggressive rock attitude into your songwriting. Okay, congrats everybody. Now we're on to our 5th and final chord change, the minor 5 chord. So for this final change, we're really going to get some exotic flavor here, borrowing from the Mixolydian scale or the Mixolydian mode, which is just a C major scale with the 7th note flatted back 1/2 step, and changing that B note to a B flat changes the 5 chord in the key of C, G major, to a G minor chord. Okay, and that's going to sound great when paired with the 1 and the 4 chords. So we could play it like this: C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, G minor, F, F. Let's hear it one more time. Okay, congrats everybody. Today you learned how to use and also the theory behind the minor 4 chord, the dominant 3 chord, the dominant 6 chord, using those secondary dominants, right? The major flat 7 chord and the minor 5 chord. Now mix all these things together and see if you can come up with some original chord progressions. Remember, applied learning is the best learning. And whenever you're listening to music and you hear a chord change that really wakes you up, see if you can figure out what it is and then build a theoretical framework around it. All right, everybody, thanks so much for checking out this songwriting tutorial. I absolutely love teaching this stuff, and I really feel that songwriting more than any other thing has benefited my musicianship and my overall playing prowess. So I'm sure it can do the same for you, so let's start putting pen to paper, and if you run into any challenges, let me know in the comment section down below or private message, and perhaps those hints can lead to future content. Real quick, I want to thank my patrons at patreon.com/Swiftlessons. Thanks to you guys, all these lessons are possible and many more are on the way. Until next time, this is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.